Hi there, let's talk Vuelta España for just a moment.
CoachEdu.net.
And the reason why you're likely to be seeing crazy racing from all sorts of different riders over the course of the final 3 weeks. And that is, we are in the midst of transfer season at the moment. And a rider's worth is based on his UCI points ranking system, where he is on the UCI points ranking as far as securing a contract for 2017. If you're not high enough up the food chain, there's a good chance you can be without a contract for 2017, you're without a job, and for so many riders that are earning domestic wages that are just about at minimum wage, no contract, no income equals no roof over your head and no food on the table. So, crazy racing expected over the last 2 weeks of the Vuelta, simply because you've got riders that are desperate to get some sort of result on their result sheet to be able to secure a contract for 2017. Because bearing in mind that the UCI is dropping the number of World Tour teams from 18 to 17, and there are 2 teams, that being Tinkoff and IM Cycling, that are quitting cycling at the end of the year. You've got 3 new incoming teams that are looking at securing a World Tour license. There's the Chinese team that's bought out Lampre. You've got the Bora Aragon team that's been shopping around for athletes, and you've got the new team based out of the United Arab Emirates. So with those 3 new teams, what you've got is you've got 3 teams effectively fighting over, call it, we were in 18 teams, if 2 dropped out, it's down to 16, and there's effectively 1 new spot with or the old Lampre out as well. So you got 2 spots, 3 teams fighting for them. But bearing in mind that cycling doesn't work like football and many other sports, where a team can be, where you've got a promotion relegation system as far as teams are concerned. The number of UCI points a team has is based on the collective UCI points of the riders that team hires. So if you as a team realize that you don't have enough UCI points to be able to secure a top tier license, a Premier Division license for next year, all you have to do is you have to haul out your checkbook and go shopping and buy up riders that have got the points that you need to be able to move your team up to a high enough point standing. So picture that within a British Premiership or any other country's Premiership type of football situation. You could go and buy a 3rd division team, haul out your checkbook and put in the world's best players, and automatically, because of the points ranking of the players that you've bought, without needing to go through a promotion system over the course of a couple of seasons, the moment you've bought these new players, it bumps you automatically up into the Premier Division. So in other words, the Premier Division will be made up of the teams that have got the checkbooks and the cash to be able to afford to be there. A small team has no chance whatsoever of making it up into the top tier division simply by beating the other teams within its division. I wonder what would happen with cycling if cycling had to adopt a similar type of measure, whereby you'd have a promotion relegation type system at the end of the season. Interesting enough point. Maybe a promotion relegation 1-day race. That could work. But then again, how would you work things like the annual World Championship road race, which is done purely by rider and countries? So it becomes a bit difficult to manage. But do you think that it's right that a brand new team can buy up the riders to put them in the top division, or do you think they need to work their way up through the pro-continental ranks to be able to get there? What do you think? Post your comments, questions, criticisms in the comment section down below. Thumbs up if you like this type of content. Share it out amongst your friends. And also, if you're brand new to my channel, hit that subscribe button. And last but by no means least, remember, until we meet again, stay carved up for the win. I'll see you next time. Cheers.
Whoa! Oh.